I wasted 20 years of my life believing every lie that my mind would tell me about people and about myself. And let's be honest here, you'll never be able to change your life if you continue believing every cruel thing your brain says about you. So these are the two things that has helped me a lot when it comes to be more confident, happy, and less socially anxious. If someone told me this, I wouldn't have wasted 20 years of my life. This happened like 4 months ago, I think. I'm in the train with my coworkers. We decided to go out because it was my manager's birthday. And then my coworkers brought some friends and all of that. So we had a good time. I was just making them laugh. I was telling a lot of jokes. We were just having a great time. And I remember that one of the girls of the group friend, and then she said, "Oh my God, I don't know why you're single. You're funny, you have a great personality. I'm gonna help you myself to find you a girlfriend. That's gonna be my mission." And as soon as she said that, I was like, it all makes sense. It all fucking makes sense. This is what I've been thinking about back then. I was more than I thought that I was. The whole thing is that my mind, and I was just hypnotized. I couldn't see myself for who I was. Someone that had great personality, someone that would make people laugh, someone that was really interesting as a person. But guess what? My mind for 20 years made me believe the opposite. And it's not just that I thought and I believed it and I felt that way. No, I acted that way. That's why when my coworkers would invite me to parties, would invite me to go out, I wouldn't go. Because I was like, if I go outside and if I see people that I don't know, I would have to talk to them. And if I talk to them, they're not gonna like me. They're gonna see that I don't have a personality. I don't have anything interesting to say, so why would I even go? So I would act based on the lies that my mind would tell me. I'm in New York and I got a friend in Florida. Same thing, this guy has been like, dude, he's basically has shown me the truth of who I am. Not my mind tells me, but who I'm actually am. This is what I want you to pay attention to. What do other people say about you? And hey, let me give you a disclaimer. If you have a fucking asshole and a fucking douchebag as a friend, don't fucking listen to his fucking opinion about you, right? Fucking cut him off. But here's the thing. What is your family saying about you? What about your close friends? If they say good things about you, instead of being like, no, that was easy. Oh yeah, that was easy for me. That was nothing. No. Instead of fucking doing that, because you're fucking letting your brain hypnotize you again, right? By doing that. No. Instead of doing that, write that on a piece of paper, because those are your strengths. That is who you are. I remember that I started to develop a habit. Although I had social anxiety and I was scared of who I was and my personality, I would always push myself to talk to people. That's why I believe that overcoming social anxiety is not by talking to more people, because I did it and I had social anxiety. But so I work in a restaurant, so every time that there was customers, I would try to make a conversation with them. And then most of the time it was so funny, because imagine there's this dude, right? There's this dude that he's Hispanic, right? It's me, and he's just having conversation after conversation with customers, right? So that their manager would see that, my coworker would see that, so they'd be like, dude, like, you're so good at talking to people, you got charisma, you're an extrovert, right? And then eventually the customers were like, hey, where's David? Like, where is he? Hey, we love this guy. Like, they would always say that. And in my mind, I would reject it, because I was fucking hypnotized, just like you are. I would reject it. I'd be like, nah, that's false. So things like, yeah, we think this about you, and it's good, don't reject it. Take it and just analyze it for a second. Just ask them, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what makes you think that? Because most of the time when they say you're good at something, it's because they cannot do that themselves. It's because they are not capable of doing what you're good at. For you, it's easy, and you might say like, oh yeah, it's effortless, but that's hard, and that's your strength. That could be either your passion, your career, that is who you are. Those are based on your strengths. So you actually have something that is good. That is my whole point with this. I can tell you right now, I can tell you the good things. I can tell you what my strengths are, not just my weakness. Because right now, you only know your weakness. You only know that you have nothing interesting to say. You only know that you are anxious. Like, if I tell you, hey, can you describe yourself? Everything that you're gonna tell me, I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee you this. Let's do this. I can guarantee you right now that you're gonna say negative things about you. But then for me, I know my fucking weakness. I know my demons. I know the things that I gotta work on. But like I said, I also know my strengths. I also know the things that I'm good at. So it's all about finding the balance and accepting that you have bad things. And also, for the love of God, stop being hypnotized. You also have good things. Because let's be honest, man. Just look at your relationships. Just look at your friends. Just look at the amount of money that you're making right now. Are you 100% happy with that? Can you be like, hey, yeah, man, nah, man, I chose this life. I want to live this life for 10 years. No, man, sadly, if you continue this life for 10 years, I don't know where you're going to end up. And that's what I asked myself the same question back then. I was like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going to end up, man, because I don't even know if I'm going to have a wife. Because the way that I was really anxious back then. So I said that's the first action step is be aware of those thoughts. Don't judge them. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to think. No, just what they say. When you go outside, for example, they must be thinking that you're stupid. Okay, that is a sign that there's something that you need to work on. If your mind tells you, hey, you're not capable of doing this, you're not capable of getting that pretty girl or have this amazing opportunity, analyze them. Just see them. Don't react them. Don't be like, oh, I don't believe them. I will fight them. Just be aware of them. Write them on a piece of paper because of what I'm gonna tell you right now. Now my question is, if your mind has gotten you to this point, is your mind really your enemy? I remember I'm 14 years old and I'm about to take a shower. So as soon as I take my shirt off, since I was a little fat, I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. And the way that I reacted was not, oh, hey man, yeah, I'm fucking getting fat. I fucking love those cookies. I gotta stop eating them. No, that was not my reaction at all. My reaction was, yes, of course, no one wanna fucking spend time with me. No one wants to fucking be my friend. Why would they fucking be my friend? Just look at me. I'm a fucking disgrace. I am a piece of shit. Why would anybody date me? Those, literally, I'm not kidding. Those were the thoughts about me. That was the way that I would treat myself. But my point with this story is this. The way that I was treating myself like that, it's not because my mind was the enemy. It's just because I had to understand that the mind is just a sponge. It adapts so quickly. That's how other people were treating me. I was getting bullied. I was getting neglected. I was getting rejected. Even my own dad, I didn't get his attention. He wouldn't play with me. He wouldn't listen to me. That's how other people were treating me. So my mind is a sponge. It was like, okay, so Jose equals he's not worth it. Jose equals he's not good enough. So poop, yeah, those are like, it's a kind of like a fucking software. So poop, okay, those are the beliefs that we have. Therefore, I gotta act based on these beliefs, based on what the software has been programmed. Does that make sense? So that's when beliefs, behaviors, patterns are created. You probably heard about patterns and all of that. But yeah, that's why you believe, and that's why your mind bullies you, because that's how you were treated before. Your mind adapted, and your mind is a sponge. And unfortunately, that's how people treated you before. Until this day, your mind is treating you that way. And somehow, since you believe your mind, you tend to believe it, and you tend to treat yourself the same way that your mind is treating you. So yeah, here's the one to blame. It's not you, because you believe this, your mind. And it's not your mind either. Your mind is not the enemy here. It's unfortunately, we cannot change the past, but that's how other people treated you. You cannot change the past, but you can change the way that you see the past. And this is what I mean by that. Not only you know the beliefs that you have and the thoughts that you have about you, yourself, and about other people, but now you're gonna see where they are coming from. Where was the first time that you started to believe that you are not good enough? That there's something wrong with your personality, that no one wants to date you. When was the first time that happened? Write those down. I know exactly those moments when everything changed in my life and in my mind. I know them well. So I want you to do the same. Write them down on a piece of paper. And once you have written down, we're gonna do the next step. How to change your mind and personality. So now we have what beliefs you have, the why you have those beliefs, and then how to change those beliefs and change them. But this is what I mean by that. You can change the way you see them and the conclusions that you form about them. Let me give you an example about my own life. So for example, when I was a kid, I didn't know what was going on. So when my dad would beat the shit out of me, when he would neglect me, when he would yell at me for doing stupid mistakes, the conclusion that I had was, well, maybe that's true. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm not worth getting loved or attention or be listened. Maybe I'm not. All I do, I always make mistakes and I always fuck things up. Literally, those were the conclusions that I had as a kid. But now I gotta look at the same things that happened today. Like I had to do that like a while ago, but today I have to look at those things and change the conclusion. A conclusion based on reality, not on emotions. Why was my dad acting like that way? Well, my dad had mental issues, and that's why he would treat us that way. He didn't know any better. Poor him. He went through the same thing himself. His dad would beat the shit out of him, and since he was not responsible, he didn't heal that trauma. He didn't change. But hey, look at me. I'm different. I'm not better, but I'm better. I am more responsible because I am addressing my trauma. And I can even think, well, yes, maybe I didn't. And even today, I was just thinking about my dad and I was crying. I wish I just had a dad that was just, normal. But what I'm thinking is, well, I'm grateful that I didn't have a dad, because now my kids are going to have the dad that I didn't have. So it's a good thing at the end of the day that I didn't have a dad. You see, I have all of these beliefs about this bad thing, about one of these things that destroyed my life, but I'm just changing the stories. I'm changing the meaning. I'm looking at it in a different way. I'm grateful for what happened. And that's what I want you to do. When you look at the time when you got rejected, your mind had a conclusion. Oh, I am, and then the conclusion. When people are mean. People equals mean. People equals they're gonna laugh at me. So why don't you change those conclusions? Why were you getting rejected? Oh, I don't know. No, don't. Once again, don't let your mind stop you here. I want you to think for yourself. Why were you getting rejected? Right? Like realistically speaking, why? For example, people rejected me just because of the color of my skin. Does that have anything to do with my personality? Of course not, right? So I have to look at those and change them. And that's what I do, man. I help people rechange and rewrite their stories so that they can stop being anxious around people. And if you want to do the same, man, just send me a DM. Yeah, so that's what I say. You got the why and the how to change them. So looking at them with both, I know that you might cry, you might feel like, oh my god, I don't want to think about it anymore. But here's the thing, you gotta look at them once and change them for all. Always remember the new conclusion that you're gonna have about those things. And then with enough time, you're gonna be able to change and stop letting your mind and stop you from living the life that you wanna live.